I have the best kid. I know everybody says that, but I have evidence. So from the time he was a toddler, Zach, my baby, he always wanted to help me and his dad clean. And it wasn't one of those cute little kid imitating things with a fake broom or some nonsense. No, this little guy just would clean the windows and birds would run into them. They were so clear. He, as a tiny guy, and all the way up till now, when he is a full 18 years old, says, I love you to me every day. I won't keep going on, but I just needed that on the record. So Zach got COVID in January of 2020. He got it from a friend while they were playing Dungeons and Dragons. I cannot even think of a nerdier way to get COVID except for maybe LARPing. LARPing, for the uninitiated, is live action role play. Those people you see in ridiculous costumes living out medieval style fantasies in parks. Anyway, he got it bad. All that talk they had, still do, about young people being fine, well, he was not okay. I called the doctor, who insisted, quote, do not go in if you don't have to, end quote. He said it was worse to be in the hospital, and there was a 6-hour wait at urgent care, so I sat up with him. I don't think I slept more than 20 minutes at a time for close to a week, maybe 2. It's a little hazy. So. The sleep deprivation. I just kept listening to his laboring breathing, that awful cough, and every time his breath would, hitch, my heart stopped. But a couple weeks in, fevers went away, and we thought, okay, that was awful, but we're okay now. And I didn't catch it. Mom, immune system, I guess, he seemed like he was getting better, but the cough, a smoker's cough. My dad died of COPD, and if you've heard that demon of a cough, that is Zach's. I say is because it hasn't changed. I mean, it's spaced out more, and he'll get some nights of sleep without any coughing fits. I mean, he also started getting the GI or digestive issues right away. Diarrhea, horrible pain, again, continued this whole time, nearly 4 years. When he was first having these symptoms, though, I was at a loss. He was so young, active, healthy, so on, all the things. And I took him to his now ex-pediatrician, who looked at my son, buckled over in pain, and after some tests showed nothing wrong. He pulled me aside and said, probably drugs. Finally, I got into a GI specialist who did blood work, and Zach's white blood cell count was like what you would see with cancer patients. And that doctor was the first time I heard the term long COVID. So he ran more tests. Meanwhile, my son, who wasn't ever overweight, was losing roughly 10 pounds a week. 10 pounds a week. Let that sink in. It was hard. It reminded me of when my dad was in his last days, the gauntness. Just so thin. Well, the GI doctor heard the cough, said he needs to see a pulmonologist. So we went, found out Zach was down to about 50% lung capacity. He's at 40% 3 years later. I feel like I have been dropped into some Lifetime movie where the sweet little kid gets cancer, except it wasn't cancer. This was from a dang virus, and I'm sorry I never asked to be cast in some low-budget shit show. Pardon my language. Yet there I was. Here I am. Here we are. It's hard, seeing your kid suffer. But imagine what he's been going through. Let's play a quick game. Guess how many organ systems he's had surgeries on? 3. Okay. There were the lungs, 2 surgeries for those. And then he suddenly got acute appendicitis, which, yeah, sure, anyone can get, but weird coincidence, it was right in the middle of this, And then he got a blood clot in his leg. He is 18. I think sometimes people want this to be something else, or they want to hear he had health issues, or we fed him poorly, something. Something that isn't a thing anybody can get, The vaccine and Paxlovid and so forth, stuff can help lower your chances. But this can be anyone. He's 18. I'll keep saying that. He's never gotten his energy back. And now between his lungs being so weak and his GI stuff making it eating so hard, we have to be so careful about bringing any kind of sickness home to him. For some people, the pandemic still is, some distant idea, a virus that messed up their travel plans. But for a lot of us, there's no normal to go back to. We've had families say Zach is probably just being dramatic. Had a friend of mine tell me we were babying him. The just denial of the gaslighting. People don't know about this, and it's lonely. There are support groups, stuff online, and we help each other out as much as we can. But for him, he just wants normal kid stuff. He wants to be able to go out with his friends and not have trouble walking or breathing or not being able to eat anything they're eating. And he's getting worse. I've been trying to get him into long COVID clinic here, and they're flooded. They say to look into options in other countries. I get so angry. I would take this from him and put it in my body. I would have gladly been the one to get COVID, to get long COVID, but not once. There's just no fairness in it. About a year ago, a friend of mine sent me a poem after I texted her, "I don't have anything left, I'm done." And I've read it every day. And now I just recite it to myself like a prayer, like a rosary. To love life, to love it even when you have no stomach for it and everything you've held dear crumbles like burnt paper in your hands. Your throat filled with the slit of it. When grief sits with you, it's tropical heat, thickening the air, heavy as water, more fit for gills than lungs. When grief weights you down like your own flesh, only more of it, and obesity of grief, you think, how can a body withstand this? Then you hold life like a face between your palms, a plain face, no charming smile, no violet eyes, and you say, "Yes, I will take you. I will love you again." Zach is that poem. He even likes poetry. See? Sick or not, he's still the best kid ever.